I've presided over murder trials, property disputes, and custody battles. I thought I'd seen everything. But nothing prepared me for coming home one Tuesday to find a neon orange boot clamped on the front wheel of my Tesla, parked squarely in my own driveway. The boot. "Judge, they got your car too," called Mrs. Kapoor, wringing her hands. Her family runs the best Indian restaurant in town, and she's brought me samosas more times than I can count. I climbed out of my old Subaru and hurried over. There it was, a thick steel clamp biting into my Tesla's custom rim, paint already scratched. A hot pink slip flapped under the wiper. "Parking violation, $350 fine, $150 removal fee. Vehicle in unauthorized location." "This has to be a mistake," I said, snatching the paper. "This is my house. My driveway. Ms. Whitaker was here earlier with 2 men," said Mr. Turner, leaning on his cane. "Said your driveway extension wasn't approved. Claimed your car wasn't allowed to park there." I looked at the new slab of concrete I'd added a month ago. Permits signed, inspections passed. Everything legal. "She's targeting everyone lately," whispered Mrs. Alvarez. "Last week she fined us $200 because my son's basketball hoop was 2 inches too tall." Across the street, blinds shifted. A pale rectangle of light. Brooke Whitaker, our HOA president, phone in hand. When our eyes met, the slats snapped shut. I smoothed my suit jacket. In court I never lose my cool. I wasn't about to start now. Face to face. I rang the bell. The door cracked open. Brooke Whitaker's face appeared. Perfect makeup, hair pulled back so tight it looked painful. "Judge Mercer," she said sweetly. "I assume you're here about the violation." "Yes. My car is parked in my own driveway. The extension was approved by the county." "The county doesn't make the rules for Cedar Brook Estates," she said. "The Homeowners Association does. The Architectural Committee, which I chair, never approved your extension. I submitted the request in April. I have receipts and permits." "Then perhaps the notice was lost. Until then, the boot stays. And the fine grows by $50 a day." Behind her, I spotted Grant Whitaker, her husband, hunched at a laptop. On the wall was a giant whiteboard. Neighbors' names, violation amounts, dates. My name had just been circled, in red, with the highest number yet. "This is extortion," I said. "It's enforcement," she corrected, lips curling. "Standards you agreed to when you moved here." She shut the door. Through the window, I saw her circle my name again, smiling. I pulled out my phone, photographed everything, and texted my clerk. "Pull County HOA filings for Cedar Brook Estates. Last 3 years. Urgent." This wasn't about parking. It was about power. And Brooke Whitaker had just clamped the wrong driveway. The pattern. It hadn't started with the boot. 3 months earlier, after I installed solar panels, Brooke appeared with a binder labeled covenant violations. "These are unacceptable," she sniffed. "An eyesore that diminishes neighborhood appeal." I showed her the approval signed by the previous HOA president, Mr. Jenkins, before he retired. "That was the old board," she said. "Things have changed." 2 days later, a $500 fine appeared in my mailbox. Next came, "Row bushes 2 inches too tall." Then my mailbox, non-conforming, despite being the same model for 15 years. Meanwhile, I noticed selective enforcement. The Turners' wheelchair ramp for their injured son? Unsightly structure. But Brooke's friend built a larger stone staircase without issue. The Alvarez kids got cited for bikes in the driveway. The Kapoors were banned from parking their catering van overnight, even though it was their family business. Yet Brooke's son left a rusty project car on the lawn for weeks. I'd seen abuse of authority before. This was textbook. Late at night, I combed through county filings. Sure enough, the official bylaws didn't match the glossy packet Brooke mailed out. She had quietly inserted entire sections banning things like solar panels, basketball hoops, and driveway extensions. None of it was voted on. The whistleblower. That evening, the doorbell rang. Grant Whitaker stood on my porch, dark circles under his eyes. "She doesn't know you're a judge," he said nervously. "She thinks you're just another target." He handed me photos, spreadsheets of neighbors, fines, dates. "She plans them in advance," he whispered. Then he showed me texts, Brooke and her allies joking about bankrupting families, discussing how to update bylaws without notice. "And there's this," he said, sliding over a bank statement. "A hidden account. Over $300,000. Only Brooke has access." Now we weren't just talking HOA harassment. We were talking fraud. "Bring people tomorrow night," I told him. Anyone willing to talk. Bring notices, receipts, everything. The meeting. My living room overflowed the next night. The Alvarezes, the Kapoors, the Mendozas, the Clarks. Stories poured out. Birthday balloons fined $500, a crying baby cited as nuisance, a grandmother's 2-week visit labeled violation. I laid out the county-filed bylaws beside Brooke's fake version. Gasps rippled through the room. Then I showed them the bank records Grant had smuggled out. Over $42,000 in 1 year, siphoned to personal luxuries, cruises, handbags, a new kitchen. She can't do this, Mrs. Kapoor said. She already has, I replied. But she won't anymore. The showdown. We filled the community center the next evening. Nearly every resident came. Brooke swept in wearing her red blazer, clipboard clutched to her chest. Wonderful to see you all, she said. First agenda item. Point of order, I said, standing. Urgent business. Dozens of hands shot up. Her face reddened. Fine. 5 minutes. I projected the official bylaws. This is the law, I said. Click. This is what we've been told to follow. Watch the differences. Line by line, I highlighted the fabrications. These are clerical differences, she snapped, trying to yank the cord. Clerical differences that cost us over $40,000, I said, clicking to bank statements. The room erupted. We sold our van because of you, shouted Mr. Kapoor. My kids couldn't play basketball, cried Mrs. Alvarez. Baseless. Brooke banged the gavel. I clicked again, the hidden account. Transfers. Receipts. Cruises. Remodels. Grant stepped forward, voice shaking. I kept the records, Brooke. All of them. She lunged for her purse. This meeting is adjourned. Actually, I said, nodding to the back. 2 uniformed officers entered. They escorted her out as she shrieked. Your property values will tank without me. The door slammed shut. Silence. Then Mrs. Turner wheeled forward. She called my ramp an eyesore. What happens now? Now we rebuild, I said. Justice. The morning after, squad cars lined Cedar Brook Lane. News crews captured Brooke in handcuffs. Indictments followed. Fraud, theft, falsifying documents. Her closest allies resigned, then quietly moved away. Life transformed. The Kapoors parked their van proudly again. The Alvarez kids played basketball in their driveway. The Jacksons installed solar panels without fear. At the next meeting, residents elected Mrs. Turner president. Her first act? Approve a neighborhood block party. She handed me a refund check and a thank you card signed by 40 neighbors. We're lucky to have you, she said. Epilogue. 6 weeks later, I watched kids race bikes down the street. Music drifted from the Nguyen's Sweet 16 party. The Smiths finally painted their front door the bright red they'd always wanted. Across the way, movers hauled boxes from Brooke's old house. Grant supervised, standing straighter than I'd ever seen him. He told me forensic accountants had found offshore accounts, nearly 200,000 siphoned from HOAs across the county. This was never about property values, I said quietly. It was about power. Now Cedar Brook Estates had taken that power back. And if anyone forgets, the true bylaws are framed on the wall of the community center, under one new line we voted to add. Respect matters more than control.